Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your service. Yes.
You know what? This is my patch. This is my manor. Nobody, I mean nobody, muscles in on my manor. Alright?
Hey folks, how you all doing? We're going to talk about an absolute masterclass in British underworld thrillers. A complete and utter masterpiece of gangsterisms. Britain's answer to, Scorsese, De Niro, and of course the likes of, cockney, and all this kind of stuff. Little Caesar, Edward G. Robinson. And who've we got? Who's Britain's answer to it? Yeah, it's the human pit bull himself. Bob Hoskins, Bob bloody Hoskins. Yeah, his teeth like that. Bob bloody Hoskins. Built like a fucking mountain gorilla. A silverback. Sorry, I'll turn that music down a bit now. Because that is the fabulously scintillating, pulsating and relentless score to Long Good Friday, done by multi-instrumentalist Francis Monkman. More on that later. The film was made by John Mackenzie, a Scot, John Mackenzie, and in tribute, I'm wearing the modern Mackenzie. In your honour, John. And it was written under the original title of The Paddy Factor by Barry Keefe. And The Paddy Factor was initially heavily influenced by the IRA's activities and how they were moving into the mainland of the UK and how their criminal activities were funding, their terrorist operation, and how a British underworld gangster would somehow try to fight against that. This was the idea behind it. Very volatile stuff at that time. The IRA was hugely prevalent. And Barry Keefe's script under the title of The Paddy Factor made no bones about it. This was totally the IRA were behind it all. John Mackenzie comes in and thinks, hang on a minute, no, I'm sure we can twist this round, make it more of a mystery. We've got Harold Shand, played by the great Bob Hoskins, in the role he was born to play. And he is he rules London, that's his manor, that's his patch. And he's grown up right from the streets himself. And he's a self-made entrepreneur, racketeer tycoon. But he's got ambition. This is the thing about this movie. It came out at the time Thatcher, that bitch Thatcher, was in power. And their Tory twats, their goon squad was totally, pulling all the strings. And it was the birth of yuppiedom, And, every man for himself, entrepreneurialism, go-getting. So Harold Shand, as played by Bob Hoskins, becomes what amounts to, an underworld mob boss version of Lord Alan Sugar. And he's got ideas, he's got lofty aspirations. The London Docklands, which is all fabulous now, it's all been regenerated, this was at the cusp of all that. His plan, his grand master plan, is to turn all these miles of unused, disused, rundown docklands into a huge leisure complex with money from all different sources, all his trusted, associates from around the world, mainly America, in the guise of two mafia bastards, who he's been over to see, and they want to go legit, as he wants to go legit as well. They don't want trouble, but of course, they're all racketeers, they're all mob bosses, and Harold's master plan sort of hinges on, he's got a counsellor, a corrupt counsellor, Councillor Harris, played by Bryan Marshall, who's an absolute slimeball, a sleazebag, but he can get all the buildings done, he can cut contracts and all this, get planning permission, so that's all sorted. And he's got Parky, who's a local Scotland Yard fucking inspector, so he's got all that sewn up, dead in his pocket, and he's got his corporation, he's got all his boys, his firm, his corporation as he calls it, to do all his, his donkey work and all the the unpleasantries that go alongside this kind of business. So while he's out in America, this is the basic of the movie's plot is really, really simple. It's how it plays out, which it gets all mysterious, enigmatic, unnerving, and really ambiguous. And he's out making these deals in America, and when he comes back, the Yanks are going to come over and they're going to see for themselves what his plans are. On his luxury yacht, they're going to go up and down the Thames. He's going to have a big speech for everybody. Ends across the pond. I'm going to put Landon. Landon's going to be the fucking figurehead of this bloody world. We're going to put England back on the bloody map. And Landon
my land, and it's going to be in charge of all that.
This is his plan. And it's a good idea, you know. And he wants to go legit, but there'll be unfair means of doing so. Anyway, while he's been away, something has happened. His best friend has gone to Belfast to deliver some money. And of course, he gets a bit greedy and he takes a bit of the money out of the suitcase himself. That money was destined for the IRA. The IRA aren't happy about this. So the driver for this guy has been killed, and Colin, played by Paul Freeman, who was Belloc in Raiders of the Lost Ark, he's a gay man, and he was picking up a lad in a Belfast bar, and his driver and this Belfast lad get bumped off and their bodies dumped. Colin is later killed in a swimming pool in England, back in London, knifed to bits by a young Pierce Brosnan, who plays a pretty much wordless IRA hitman in his first big screen movie role. And Harold comes back into this, and what bloody hell's going on? He's come back at Easter time. It is a Friday, Good Friday. Good Friday agreement, folks. Can you see a bit of foretelling of what was to come in real life? And it's going to be a very long Good Friday, because everything is going to go massively tits up for him and his enterprise. He's got to impress the Yanks. Yeah, the Yanks, they love snobbery. You know, they want to come over here and they think it's great if the upper class treat them like shit. Victoria, his moll, his wife, or is it girlfriend? I'm never too sure if it's his wife or his girlfriend. We know he's had a divorce from a while ago, but I'm not sure if he's actually married. Victoria is played by, oh God, you know, the eternal beauty that is Helen Mirren. And far from being just the gangster's moll, the damsel, she is the brains behind a lot of this. Her job is to try and keep the Yanks happy while he begins to sort out what's going wrong with the firm, what's going wrong on his manor. Because as soon as he gets back, his mum goes off to the church, the Good Friday, mass, and outside his bloody Rolls Royce with his driver, who was escorting her, gets blown to bits. There's a bomb in his casino. He finds out that Colin's been knifed. All the times for any of this to happen, it has to happen now, when he's trying to impress these big wigs, these bureaucratic mob boss tycoons who've got all the money that he needs to make his dreams come true. Who's doing it? Why now? Why me? He gets going to his casino to try and sort things out, to get told that they found a bomb in there. A bomb? Cue the great line, like, anything unusual happened? You know, is there anyone strange in here? No, Harold. This is to the casino owner, who was in his pocket, obviously, works for him. You know, no, Harold, nothing unusual. Eric's been blown to smithereens. Colin's been carved up. There's a bomb in me casino, and you say nothing unusual. Nothing unusual. It's just classic. The lines are classic. John Mackenzie took the basics of this kind of obvious plot and twisted it round so that you didn't know who was responsible for all this. And of course, the fact is that someone on the inside, someone very trusted, someone very close to Harold, someone he would never dream of looking at with suspicious eyes. It's a cue for a song there. And as events progress, more and more disasters befall them. They're trying to keep all this away from the two Yanks. And they're driving along. Well, we're going to go to my favourite pub. You know, I've got a big spread laid on for us. It's the works. And as they drive up there to the Lion and Unicorn, as they drive up, kaboom! That fucking place blows up. The actual floor above the pub where the restaurant was meant to be, with the big sit-down meal, kaboom. They dress it up as being like, oh, it was a gas explosion. Who the bloody hell's doing this? Fucking blowing all my staff to shit. What's going on? I'll have their bloody carcass dripping blood by midnight. I want everybody on this parky, everybody, you know. And it's just, what's he going to do? How is he going to find out? How's he going to outwit all this and keep it all quiet? And this is the crux of this absolute masterpiece in escalating tension, sharp British gallows humour. You know, Bob Hoskins grew up knowing thugs. He wasn't one. He was never a gangster, as he says, as he admits. And but he knows a lot of people that wear. He knows how they operate. He could move through the seedy underworld. He could walk down streets, walk into bars, and address a crowd of hoods and hoodlums with that power and authority of someone that has done it, because he knows the real life people. And in a real casting coup as well, John Mackenzie manages to recruit in, as well as the luminary of Bob Hoskins and loads of British TV and thriller movie, stalwarts. PH Moriarty from Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels as Razors with his face all slit up, scars everywhere. He's awesome. You've got loads of British comedy in there as well, but they also get a load of genuine underworld celebrities to just fill out the ranks. And these guys are all there in several, crowd sequences, having a right old time of it. And I think, who was it? John Mackenzie says at one stage that it's about the knifing of Paul Freeman as Colin, gay Colin, at the swimming pool. And one of these guys comes and was like, not that I'd know, but you don't knife someone like that. You do it like this. So they got all the real grassroots, how it really happens from the guys that do know. And it is an absolute wonderful movie. As I say, so many set pieces build up and up and up in this escalating, barometer of pure powder keg tension. We know it's the IRA. Harold always seems to fight against this. He knows it's Irish. He gets told when the Lion Unicorn gets blown up and he's talking to the landlord. Well, bloody hell, anyone strange been in here? Well, a couple of micks came in who were trying to do it for some protection. And he's like, what, a couple of micks coming to one of my bloody pubs trying to get protection money? The fuck? Who are they? Who are these micks? Irish, of course. Parky, he says to this detective inspector, who's corrupt as hell, I want you to get every fucking mick that you know of, get all their names and addresses, I want them rounded up. Harold, I can't do that. This is bombs and bullets. That's the IRA. But Harold's having none of it. He's like, no, this is my manor. No one treats me like this on my patch. I want to get this done. I want to get done by tonight. Cue the famous sequence where he sends his goons out to go and round up all his 6 major rivals, and they bring them all in to the abattoir where poor Colin's body is lying at rest. I mean, that's because the body, they've got to keep these things under wraps, haven't they? So his granddad, who runs the swimming pool where Colin was killed, says, all right, Arnold, we're going to put the body in the abattoir. I've got an ice cream van to take him round there. And Arnold goes like, well, there's a lot of dignity in that, going out on a raspberry ripple, isn't there? It's just classic, sharp, barbed dialogue, really witty, but full of gallows, cutthroat sort of humour. So they get all these major rivals from all the different manors around London, and they bring them in, hung upside down on meat hooks, and slide them all in. So man, one of you knows, one of you fucking knows, and you're going to talk tonight. But of course, it's none of them. It's none of them are doing it. And someone closer to home. And you've got the great, what's his name, Derek Thompson, who later went on to fame and glory as a nurse or a practitioner in the long-running show Casualty, and he plays the young up-and-coming lieutenant, Harold. It's like the son Harold never had, and he takes him under his wing and looks after him all the time. But as events transpire, little nuggets of information come back to Harold. Razors, the great PH Moriarty, says well, there was something unusual, boss. On that day you came back, I was driving Jeff around, and he met that councillor Harris. And this funeral went past, and a woman gets out the funeral car and gobs in his face. Now we have seen that, and it turns out she's the wife, the widow of the driver who took Colin to Belfast, and Colin pocketed the money, making the IRA go ballistic, literally. And in so doing as well, the IRA also lost 3 of their top members during a security forces raid. So as Harold says, well that's it, innit? They've packed 2 and 2 together, and they've come up with the answer, haven't they? Colin's my man. They get booked that night, they lose some money. It's all down to me, innit?
It's a fucking war. Well, I'll bloody annihilate him. I'm going to crash him like Beatles.
And he's got Jeff there on his luxury yacht because he's spoken to the widow to find out, why was your husband a driver out there? Why was he driving Colin?
I don't know, Harold, but you want to ask that Jeff. He arranged it all. He got him out there.
What? Oh, it all fits together. So he brings Jeff on board the yacht.
You're sweating there. You look a bit hot. Here, have a drink. That'll cool you down. That'll cool you down a bit.
And anyway, he gets it out of him. You know,
you fucking Judas, he calls him. Like, why? Why, Jeff? Why? Well, they threatened to kill me, didn't they?
Because what's happening is, Councillor Harris, the guy they've got to help plan all this buildings of this huge leisure complex, which is going to make them all multi-millionaires, has been using IRA-backed builders, because the IRA builders don't go on strike. But of course, he's now owing them money, isn't he? He owes them a bit of moolah. So he has to make the delivery. But Jeff, because Jeff's involved in it too, all behind Harold's back, says, I'll get Colin to do it then. Colin gets greedy fingers, takes some money out. The top IRA blokes get taken out. It's dropped Harold well and truly in the shit. So in one of the film's most shocking moments, Harold just goes mental, hits him with the whiskey bottle, and then, you fucking Judas, stabs him in the throat repeatedly, cuts his jugular. Horrible sequence. And he realises that he cradles him, you know, what am I doing? What's it all come to? You know, I wanted peace. We've had peace for 12 years. We've had peace for 12 years. This is what he says to all the other mob bosses who he's got strung up. You know, peace. Who's rocking the boat now? You know, we don't need this. I'm taking London to conquer the fucking world. Anyway, so he's now killed Jeff. And in another great sequence, a lot of handheld camera work in it as well. Helen Mirren, he's covered in blood. He comes down the gantry and they tell him, what's happening? He goes, Jeff, fucking Jeff. It's that bloody Harris, Councillor fucking Harris as well. And she tries to stop him because he's going, I'll kill him, I'll fucking kill him. And she's hanging onto his leg and he's dragging it across the tarmac, like, and then PH Moriarty raises and a couple of the blokes stop him. And she slaps him in the face. Harold! And he's covered in Jeff's blood. And she calms him down. Harold, you know it's Harris. You've got Harris now. No, you use him. So in one of those sort of chest beating, you know, punch the air moments, Harold works out, well, they get a plan, a payback plan. They go and see Councillor Harris. You don't hear what gets said, but the next thing you know, there's been a meeting arranged at the local stock car racing. They're going to meet this IRA boss. Well, but we don't know the hierarchy of the IRA. We don't know how many people are working for them, how many people are operatives out there. We know there's hitmen, and then we're going to meet these two guys who we haven't seen them before. And they've obviously arranged 60,000. This is 1981. Doesn't sound like a lot of money now, does it? But 60,000, you know, he's going to give them to get him off his back. So they go and meet this guy, and of course the big boss is actually, who is he? Who's the boss? Take a look out there. He's just won the second race. And it's like on a stock car, like, yeah. And he's an Irish IRA mob boss. And he come in, he goes, it's all there, you count it out there. And these two guys are like that. They've got Councillor Harris who's shitting himself. And then next thing, the door bursts open, and Harold's men come in, shotguns, kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. They blow away Councillor Harris, they kill these two IRA guys whose bodies tumble out of this sort of control booth above the stock car racing track. And they get hit by stock cars. It's a big action sequence. And then, you know, you think, wow, fucking hell, Harold, get in there, mate. You fight fire with fire, and you fucking beat them. Good on you. You know, you may be a scumbag criminal, but you're a fucking scumbag criminal. And we're behind you. So you think everything's okay. So Harold goes off to the Savoy to go and meet these two Yanks. You know, goes into the room, and Victoria, Helen Mirren's parked outside, you know, in his limo, and he goes in, hey, you know, and he got Eddie Constantine plays the main Yank, and he's got this guy Tony, who's his lawyer. They were all a bit suspicious of Tony at first, but no, you want to impress him as well. And so don't drink too much, alright? Make sure the lads behave themselves. Gotta keep these Yanks happy, you know? That's on the yacht at the start. Harold goes in there. Hey, it's all over. Problem is now solved. Hey, why are you packing your bags? Why are you putting all the plans back at... Where are you going? You're not leaving, are you? Yeah. I am Harold. Why did I give the Yank a cockney accent? Can't do American accents, that's why. He says we're leaving because, you know, bombs and bullets make me nervous. What? I've just told you it's all sorted. No, Harold, I don't like what I've seen here. We don't deal with this. What? Well, it comes to something when the mafia fucking bottle it with a bit of trouble. A bit of trouble, Harold. Bombs are blowing people up. There's a massacre on the streets. We don't deal with this sort of thing anymore. Cue one of, you know, Bob Hoskins' major rants. Big patriotic speech. He says, right, you know, when it fucking comes to something, you know, when I see the mafia turn tail and flee, you know, I'm talking about fucking England. What we brought to the world? Culture, ingenuity, you know, industry. Bit more than a fucking hot dog, wouldn't you say? Well, you know what? I'm going to go into business with the Germans. Yeah, the Krats. Yeah, because it's a common market now, isn't it? The Krats. You know why? Because they've got ambition. They've got ingenuity. And they don't battle it either. Yeah, unlike you, the mafia. I shit him. And like Tony, the lawyer, I don't that like he goes, yeah, shat it, you long streak of paralysed piss. It's a marvellous, patriotic, fuck you, you know, we're going places, we don't fucking need you. And then he storms out, whistles his car over like that, gets in the car, possibly the most famous sequence, one of the most famous sequences in all British thriller cinema, I would say. Gets in the back, where's Victoria? Car roars off, he's like, that, what the fuck, oi! Doesn't recognise the driver, and up pops Pierce Brosnan, who's in the front passenger seat, with a gun on him. Yeah. They don't have to say a word, the music kicks in, this music, where is it? Why wouldn't it play? And then in one of the most gloriously innovative moments, the long final scene of the long Good Friday, the camera just stays on Harold Chan's face as he works out where it's all gone wrong. How can he get out of this? Can I take them two out? Can I get out this door? How am I going to stop this? And as the music plays and we cut back to Pierce Brosnan just chewing gum with a gun on him, we've got you. You ain't going nowhere. Another car sped off with a Victoria in it, with another bunch of Irish hitmen. You can't stop that. Harold just sits there. His pit bull fucking teeth come out. And he's like, Gradually, as he works out all the parameters, he has to come to final resignation. His defiance becomes defeat. And Bob Hoskins is a powerhouse. This is a barnstorming tour de force performance. He'd been seen the year before in the great movie Zulu Dawn, playing a colour sergeant who headbutts it, damn you, bang! You know, he gives a fantastically visceral performance there. And John Mackenzie had seen that and thought, perfect, you are my gangster. So they changed the title from the original script from the Paddy Factor, which gives the game away. And you retain some of this mystery as to really who's behind all this, who's pulling the strings. Because as the movie progresses, and you see Harold mounting counter-attack and defiance and roaring rage and tactics and underhand, underworld strategy, but whoever is opposed to him, we're gradually realising they're much, much stronger than he is, and there's very little he can do. Whatever he does, they've got him covered in every which way. He's now trapped. I made a cup of tea, which is probably now stone cold. Fucking hell! It's okay. The film caused a lot of controversy at the time. The original ITC were the original producers behind it, who backed the movie. Guess what? They wanted to dub Bob Hoskins' voice because it was too cockney. Well, the Americans won't understand it. So Bob Hoskins really went fucking ballistic, because the worst thing you can do is for an actor is to remove their voice from the film that they're performing in. So they get a lot of British stage and theatrical and movie stars and celebrities from both sides of the screen to form a big veto, a big strike petition, and in the end it was Eric Idle and the Monty Python team under the guise of Handmade Films, who also did Time Bandits, and they came in and took the script and said, we'll make your movie. Because ITC also had the rather stupid lame-ass idea of putting this movie out as a TV film, trimming it down to a more manageable 80-85 minutes and making it a TV movie. With all the violence in it, the swearing in it, torture, a guy is crucified to the floor, it's horrible. Some of it's horrible. That spit and jugular, that's bad enough. The film is still intact when it comes out, fully uncut. It's now got a cinematic release. It gets shown at Cannes, it gets shown at other festivals, and it's getting lots and lots of attention. It's visceral, hard-hitting, no one's seen anything like it. A riveting script as well. But the British government gets rattled. Why? Margaret Thatcher and her goons didn't like it because it portrayed the IRA as being a rather powerful and undefeatable force, even on British turf, even on mainland soil, and they did not like that at all. So the film did cause controversy in various high quarters and was talked about, in Westminster, Prime Minister's questions. But of course, the film came out to rip-roaring success, became a critically acclaimed and lauded masterpiece, and a cult favourite. You've even got, if you look on the streets when they come out, they go and meet the Brixton Ponce, Errol the Brixton Ponce, who is Parky the copper's snout. He's his grass, I want to aim at your fucking top snout, your top grass. I can't do that. These people, their lives depend on their anonymity, and no one knowing their name or who they are. Parky, I'd pay your fucking wages. I want that fucking name. So it's Errol the Brixton Ponce, played by the Scouser Paul Barber, who raises then tortures with a knife slashing across his buttocks. Oh God. Errol, I don't fucking know. I've given him a cockney accent. Errol, I don't fucking know, like I don't fucking know, alright? Just fucking leave me alone. And so you've got violence and all sorts in it. You've got, when you come out of it, Errol's pad, in Chelsea or wherever that is, like, you've got these kids who are trying to, we've looked after your roller, mister. And he's like, what? I never asked you to. Well, we could have damaged it, couldn't we? He turns around to Razors and goes like, that's how we started, remember? Yeah, boss. So they fucking pay him. One of those lads is Dexter Fletcher, who would also go on to be in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Folks, the camera work, the violence, the script, the acting is just bravura. This is one of those films you can watch and watch and watch again. Yes, it's dated because it's all set before the big Doc Lemley generation, but it foresaw all that. It also foresaw the rise of the yuppie, the go-getting, throat-cutting, backstabbing entrepreneurialism of corporate commercialism, and it also looks at Brexit and the common market. So it's even more relevant now because Harold Shannon, he wants that. He wants to be part of Europe because that's where money is, and it will only help to make their name even better. Bring them on board, but we're in charge. And of course now with Britain's trying to pull its ass out of Europe in the most cack-handed manner. This is the long bad Brexit, you could say, because it's got to go on for fucking ever, this. But it foreshadows all of this. Folks, my timer is going to cut out in less than a minute. I really wanted to do a lot more on this movie, but hey, it is what it is. The Long Good Friday. If you haven't seen it, you're going to have to see it now. Violence, excitement, suspense, fabulous music, great performances, Bob Hoskins and the gorgeous Helen Mirren. Come on now, can't go wrong.
Oi, this is my fucking manor.
Folks, keep it real, keep it kilted, keep out of gangsters' pockets, and I'm going to see you all.
The mafia, I shit 'em.